Did you know that there's a $40 billion industry right here in the U.S. that consists of cutting down healthy trees just to make cardboard boxes? That's a lot of trees getting cut down, about 17 in fact, just to make 1 ton of cardboard boxes. In addition to all those strong, healthy trees, just think about all the other resources and environmental impacts of making boxes. Fuel, emissions, water, electricity, chemicals, dyes, and inks, just to name a few. And the real tragedy is most of those boxes are used just once and then either recycled or thrown away. UseCardboardBoxes.com is a national earth-friendly technology company that buys quality used boxes by the truckload from large companies as they're unpacking their supplies. We then sell those very same boxes to other companies as a low-cost, earth-friendly alternative to buying them new. For people that are moving, we use those boxes to pack earth-friendly moving kits and can deliver them to any address in the U.S. in just 1 to 2 business days. Did I mention that shipping is always free? Well, it is. At UseCardboardBoxes.com, our boxes are cheaper, greener, guaranteed. After all, you don't have to cut down a tree to make a used cardboard box.
You're watching Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerantz. We thank you so much for joining us again. Our guest is Marty Metro. Marty is the president and CEO and founder of UsedCardboardBoxes.com. Sir, how does an MBA who worked for big 6 consulting firms wind up starting a business that deals with cardboard boxes?
And used ones at that.
Exactly.
Well, I spent many years as a big 6 consultant. I did my time getting my MBA and spent about 10 years building big software systems. And after watching the dot-coms go up and go back down, I kind of got tired of doing things that didn't really have a purpose. So
and you would say that your business has a purpose. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's got a big purpose. We are a venture-funded company, so we are out to build wealth for our shareholders.
Good.
At the same time, we are out to do something good for the environment and good for our customers and good for our vendors.
And explain how Used Cardboard Boxes uses cardboard boxes.
Well, what we do is we buy quality used cardboard boxes from big companies that would typically recycle them. So if you look at a big food manufacturer or a clothing manufacturer, as they're getting their supplies in, they're unpacking them in boxes like this, and typically just throwing them away. Potentially they'll be recycling them, but recycling them means that a big company will come and pick them up, pulverize them, and ship them to China. So what we do is
Wait a sec. So it's not being recycled?
No, actually, cardboard recycling here in the United States is kind of a misnomer or a fallacy. Cardboard, the biggest demand for cardboard scrap today is in China. So what American companies do is they recycle, which means a big company will come, pick up all that cardboard, ship it to China. China will then turn into pulp to make boxes to ship us back our cell phones and our TVs and so forth.
And so that step is literally vanishing, and you are truly recycling, reusing that same cardboard box. So who are your customers?
Well, you know the old mantra, reduce, reuse, recycle.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think here in the United States we just throw it all into recycling. So what we're doing is trying to reuse here in the United States. Our big customers are the people that are moving. There's about 42 million Americans that move every single year here in the United States. So really, if you look at it, 17 out of 100 people are involved in a move some way, either packing up for a move or unpacking for a move. What we do is we buy those used boxes from big companies, we package them into moving kits with a marker and a box cutter and a tape gun, and then we can deliver it to anyone's house anywhere in the United States in 2 business days, free shipping.
And so what you're going to get is a big box with cardboard boxes in it, with company names on it.
Absolutely.
I mean, because it truly is not changed in any way. You're getting the raw cardboard box.
Exactly. People ask us all the time, oh, do you recycle them? Do you fix them?
Nothing.
No. We buy millions of quality used boxes. We inspect them, make sure that they're perfect, there's no rips, no tears, nothing soiled. If we do have something that's ripped, torn, or soiled, we recycle it just like anybody else. But if it's a good box in good condition, in a moving box size or shape, we classify them into mediums, larges, and extra larges. We sell them on our website. We have 9 distribution centers where we deliver them to anyone's house across the U.S.
And Canada.
And Canada. We have Montreal and Toronto.
You launched in 2006. How's the business doing?
The business is great. We got started in 2006 with a test in Los Angeles. It did so well. We opened up in New York, and then Atlanta, then Dallas, just outside of Chicago, Salt Lake City, Montreal, Toronto, and those are all distribution centers where we ship directly to people's doors.
So if I want to buy one of your kits, what do I do?
You go online to usecardboardboxes.com, or you can do it by the telephone, 888-BOXES-88. Tell them how many bedrooms you have, and 2 days later you'll have your boxes.
How do you feel?
I feel great. You know, people ask me all the time, it's a lot of hard work building an innovative company that's really never been done before, but every dollar we make, we're saving a little piece of the environment, so it makes us feel good.
Marty, thanks for coming, and thanks for what you're doing for the environment. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
For Charter's Local Edition, I'm Brad Pomerantz. Now back to CNN Headline News.
A lot of people say, I'm just one person, you know, if I recycle my boxes or if I eat green, is that really going to do things? But I guess you guys say, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a mindset, and it's not just about being green. It's about being smart. It's being smart with your resources.
Up next, saving money and the environment.
See where you can stock up on cardboard boxes without spending too much money. That's straight ahead.
If you're about to move, maybe Terrell Owens, maybe you're going to do some spring cleaning or sell something on eBay. There's one thing everybody needs, and that's boxes. But if you need a lot of them, it can get expensive. Consumer specialist Rick Romero has found a special place that will help you save on boxes and on the environment.
There is one thing everyone needs when they move: boxes, and lots of them. It used to be the grocery store was a good source, but now those are crushed and recycled. So where do you go? Well, you might try usecardboardboxes.com.
We went out and created a rescue program for big companies. Companies like Guess Jeans, Walden Books, Borders Books. They're just throwing away their boxes. Sometimes they're recycling them, but it costs them money to recycle them.
So every week, usecardboardboxes.com gets about a ton of boxes from those companies and sells them to consumers for about half the cost of new.
Pricing, what we did is we set out to say we can save half price. So we look at new boxes, or a new box sells for $2, we sell it for $1. If it sells for $3, we sell it for $1.50.
They're in good condition. The only thing different about them, there's tape on them. You know, from the new ones are more expensive.
Yeah.
These prices, you can't beat that.
From the largest to the smallest, the size choices are the same as what you'd find when buying new. But unlike new, you don't have to leave home to get the boxes.
We've built a centralized infrastructure that allows you sitting at your house to place an order for boxes and have them delivered, allows our employees to sit on a web-based computer and place orders. You can call into our call center and place an order. They're all going into the same internet-based system.
Southern California consumes over 700,000 tons of cardboard boxes every month, and that means almost 1.5 million acres of trees each year have to be cut down to make them. Recycling boxes this way saves some of those trees. If you want to save money in trees, just log on to our website at abc7.com and we'll link you up. This is Rick Romero, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Did you know that in the United States alone, about $40 billion worth of cardboard boxes are made each year, and they're often used just once and then thrown away? Let me walk you through the 13 steps it takes to make a new box, and then we'll compare that with the 3 simple steps we take here at usecardboardboxes.com. It all starts by cutting down trees. This causes deforestation, erosion, requires massive fuel usage, causes pollution, and contributes to global warming. The cut logs are then loaded onto a tractor trailer and trucked to a pulp mill. This requires more fuel usage, which pollutes the air. And boy, do those trucks clog the freeways. When the truck arrives at the mill, the logs are unloaded, cut up into little pieces, and processed into a soup-like pulp. To do this, they pour in lots of water and then add chemicals, which can cause air and water pollution. When the huge vats of pulp are mixed and ready, the pulp is often trucked, yes, trucked again, to a paper mill. This requires more fuel, more freeway congestion, and causes more emissions. At the paper mill, the pulp is processed to become, well, paper. This requires more chemicals and electricity and can cause even more pollution. And I wonder where they dump all that contaminated water they extracted from the pulp. After the paper's actually made, it's spun into huge rolls like giant paper towels. Then, to make cardboard for boxes, these giant rolls have to be trucked to a corrugating facility. Yup, you guessed it, more fuel, more trucks on the freeway, and more emissions. Once at the corrugator, these giant rolls are processed by gluing 3 sheets together to make cardboard boxes or pads. This requires electricity, causes pollution, uses chemicals, glues, dyes, and inks. Regardless if the corrugator has made actual boxes or just cardboard pads, they have to be trucked to a distributor. You know the drill, more gas, clogged freeways, and pollution. The distributor might print a logo on the boxes or die cut the pads to make custom boxes. Either way, it's more ink and electricity. When the boxes are ready, they're loaded onto a truck so the distributor can deliver them to a retail location. More gas, more freeway congestion, more emissions. Once the boxes arrive at the retailer, they sit on shelves waiting for customers. All week long, those retailers use more and more electricity just to keep the lights on to advertise their boxes. In order to prepare for a move, customers just like you often have to drive to the store to pick up the boxes. More fuel, roadway congestion, and emissions. Now that you've purchased your boxes, it's time to drive back home, unload them, and start packing. Yet another use of fuel, road congestion, and source of emissions. I don't know about you, I'm tired and I haven't even started packing. As you can see, this is an elaborate and consumptive process that places heavy demands on our natural resources. But now, have a real quick look at the 3 simple steps it takes to use cardboardboxes.com to get quality used boxes right to your door. UCB trucks quality used boxes from local companies back to local warehouses. This requires fuel and causes emissions, but we use common carriers to reduce congestion and optimize our loads. We then carefully sort, inspect, and pack the very same boxes into our convenient moving kits. This requires good old-fashioned manual labor and some electricity so we can see what we're doing. Every day, UPS comes to each of our regional distribution centers to pick up our moving kits and deliver them to our local customers. This requires some fuel and causes some emissions. But because UPS trucks are already on the road and en route to each neighborhood, our kits just go along for the ride. We selected UPS as our carrier of choice thanks to their new clean fleet, which helps minimize their environmental footprint. Well, thanks for taking the time to learn about usedcardboardboxes.com, North America's cheapest, easiest, and most earth-friendly way to get boxes for packing, moving, shipping, and storage.
You know, a lot of companies view used boxes as something that needs to be thrown away or recycled. I view it as something that needs to be resold and reused right here in the United States.
Why do you think reusing products is the way of the future?
You know, we've been taught in school and even in business this concept of reduce, reuse, recycle. But I think over the course of time, really it's all kind of been blended into the term recycle. And recycling is the breaking down of one component to make something else. And I think we forget you don't need to break something down if it can be reused in its own form. It takes about 17 trees to make 1 ton of cardboard boxes. And the really sad thing is, most boxes are used just once and then thrown away. Whether you're using them to move a house or a company's using them to ship products. They make it to their destination, they get unpacked, and they get tossed in a recycler. We're out to stop that. There are programs for bottles, programs for cans, for metal recycling, plastic recycling. There's all kinds of rules and regulations. There's not a lot in the box business. Typically, boxes have been treated as just a one-way disposable product. You ship your products and somebody else unpacks them and throws them away. We are trying to educate the world that a cardboard box is not a one-way disposable product. It's something that can be reused once, twice, 3 times, many times over and over again as a reusable container. So traditionally, boxes like this would just be thrown into a recycling bin. But with the technology that we've built and the marketplace that we're creating, we actually find a new home for this box as a box, not as a piece of scrap cardboard. You know, the word recycling here in the United States can be very deceptive. Most people don't realize boxes like this that get recycled are actually baled up and exported to China. Why does China want our boxes? They don't. They don't want our boxes, they want the fiber. They actually take these boxes, tear them up, turn them into pulp, and make new boxes for themselves in order to ship products back to us. Seems like a pretty cool global recycling process where our boxes go to China, they then turn them into pulp and ship them back to us. But think about the ocean liners, the weeks and weeks and weeks out at sea, and the gas and the emissions that it takes in order to take these boxes, turn them into pulp, turn them back into new boxes, and ship them all the way across the ocean just to recycle. We look at things a little bit differently at usedcardboardboxes.com. We don't consider a used box as scrap. We consider it as a product that can be sold for cheaper than new and used again before it's recycled. We're out to change the way people think about cardboard. No longer do you put something into a cardboard box, ship it, and then take it out of the box and throw away the cardboard. Cardboard really should be thought of as a reusable packaging. Something that can be taken, used once in one application, used again in a different application, used a third time, and then only after it can't be used should it be recycled. So these boxes are being brought back to our distribution center where they'll be inspected. Any boxes that can't be reused will be properly recycled, but boxes that can be reused will be inventoried, palletized, and made available to other companies. Moving is big business. About 43 million Americans move every single year in the United States alone. The funny thing is, most people buy moving boxes, use them once, and then just throw them away. At the same time, big companies are throwing away boxes like this all day long. So what we do is we buy boxes like this, inspect them, and build them into moving kits that we ship to people all across the country. It gives people a lower cost, more earth-friendly way to move, and you don't have to go to one of those retail stores and buy expensive boxes. About $40 billion worth of boxes are produced right here in the United States every single year. About $120 billion of boxes are produced around the world every single year.
How do you feel, being in the trenches day in and day out?
I feel really good about it. It's been a lot of hard work, but the idea of building a company where every dollar you make has a positive impact on the environment is pretty cool. It's really a win-win.
Thank you.